Alright, so this is the overview of purchase PO update and schedule PO update. First, let's look at this one. I just have this set up as a scheduled workflow to run every hour, from 8 to 7. It runs every hour. But what all this is a search that looks for folders that are open in here. And this is all this extra text here is a note just for convenience because I had it set to do a specific folder, so I'm keeping it there. Okay, so then for every folder it finds, it invokes this one, which leads me to the next one. Now there's no starting rules for purchase PO update. It's strictly for invoking purposes only. And just to have an overview here, there's no input or output parameters. To be used as an invoke, checks the total amount, change date, and account numbers are up to date. Populate all other docs with the PO number. So these are folders that it returns, and it pulls the status and the PO. If the PO is not populated, it runs down here and assigns the PO, pulls it out of the folder name, and then runs it again. So, which leads us to here. So if it's not empty, we query this data running on the PO number to see if it's closed or not. If it's closed, we say yes, it's closed. If it's no, we say no, it's not closed. Here is the change date data, and again querying on the PO. And for each row that's retrieved, we go retrieve at this point. Go retrieve the change date, and this is a pretty cool one. Change date or empty. So it says for each row, change date, if it's greater than the maximum number of what was retrieved, then run it. Or if it's empty. So here we assign the change date. Only if it's greater than the max or if it's empty. And there's this little token here that we say that tells us that it has run, that it's added data, and that's picked up later on. And we split and do a parallel. So here's the total amount for each row of change data. It pulls in the total amount and then conditionally says, almost similarly, total amount, if it's greater than the max, then add it in, or if it's empty. And of course here we add it in. Now simultaneously at the same time, this parallel, it does the regular accounting thing where it pulls in account numbers, queries to get that data on the PO number, and then adds missing account number. So if what is retrieved is not in the existing, it does not contain it, then add it in there. And it trims out the spaces. I could use the trim, but I'm not. Okay. So then it goes and sees if data was added or not. Then it clears it out. But this conditional is based on what happens here before it's cleared out. So if data was added in there, then we run a search based on the template that's on the folders, on the PO number in here. So it's looking for any other folder, specifically requisition folders, that have the PO number in there. So for each folder that it returns, first we need to determine if it was the starting entry or not. If it wasn't the starting entry, go ahead and populate this stuff. If all these are true, if the entry ID does not equal the entry ID, and if it's not empty, go ahead and copy it from the starting. Now if it is the starting entry, then we do something else. Then we go find all documents, document shortcuts referencing the real documents that's within the current path, within the starting entry. And then everything in the file entry, then we copy all that data, because remember, these workflows run on the folders, not the entries themselves, or not the documents themselves. So this is required to go ahead and populate everything in that starting entry folder. So it grabs everything in the folder that it first worked on. If not, all those requisitions folders, and it populates it there. Okay, so moving right along, we retrieve the field status for the for each entry 2 status. Now if it's closed, then we run this parallel, and this says it all. Assigns a new security on the parent folder, strips the inherent rights, and assigns new rights for town employees and Laserfish administrators only. In essence, it is now locked for editing, so only it strips out everything here. All rights will be removed. Strips out everything here. All rights will be removed. Make sure Laserfish is good. And town employees has only browse, read, and see annotations. And I guess I lied. That was a detail as well.